I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. I've never been a good liar. I've never been a good liar. And it's gotten so many people in my life in trouble. I didn't mean to tell all my brothers and sisters growing up or my friends around. It's just that every adult in my neighborhood knew if you look me directly in the eyes and ask me a question, I will tell you the truth. It's just I was born that way. I'm the youngest child. We have it in our DNA. We gonna tell on your ass. We are a snitch from birth. You know what I mean? I have gotten my brothers and my friends some of the worst ass whoopings of their life. And I carry that guilt with me every day. I'm pretty sure that's why I give out so many gratuitous blowjobs. I'm just trying to balance the karmic scales. You understand me? Trying to make up for all the people that I've hurt, okay? That joke made that man look at the floor. He didn't want to... He specifically got nervous, looked down at the ground. Don't worry, I will not attack you. It's all about consent these days. You're safe. You're safe. You're a straight white man. I should be scared of you. Okay? Statistically speaking. I remember when I was a little kid, I remember one day, I'm outside, I'm rollerblading, you know, just showing everybody in the neighborhood my hips don't lie, you know. Years before Shakira ever told me to be like that. Just being the future proud to be homosexual that God made me, you know. And you gotta understand, I lived in like a lower middle class neighborhood. There were limited safe spaces where you could play. Like the park by my house had gang activity. Other blocks, she's understood exactly what's going on. There's other blocks where there's like, people didn't tie up their dogs and shit, so you couldn't roller skate in that block, the dog would chase you. I'm just saying I had limited roller skating real estate, right? So I'm like on my 15th lap around my block, just looking cute. I would always be daydreaming that I'm in like a fight scene alongside Xena Warrior Princess. You could always hear me coming because I would always be doing that Xena cry like I was a very special child. People love me, girl, don't feel bad. So I'm skating and I see all the neighborhood kids running my direction, right? They're running at me, my two brothers, everyone's jumping under cars, climbing trees. I knew exactly what the fuck was up. My brother jumped underneath my dad's truck, so I followed him. I don't know if any of y'all are 90s kids, I see a few of y'all. You remember knicker knocking? You guys know what that is?
Yep.
Knicker knocking is when you knock at someone's door and you run, right? That's all these kids on my block wanted to do. They did it all the damn time. And it was normally fine. Most people would just come outside, be like, nobody's here, it must be them damn kids again, and go about their business. But there were two houses on my block. Everybody knew you do not knicker knock at those houses. Those people would come outside and basically just have a stakeout. They would just wait and see who got out their hiding space first and go tell your mama and you would get your ass whooped, right? Yes, very serious. So we jump underneath my dad's car and my brother tells me Brad knocked up one of those houses. Now Brad was the only white boy on my block. And Brad was a badass kid. Okay? Brad was like this guy, he did whatever he wanted to do, whenever he wanted to do it, he had no fear of consequences. That's how we used to describe it before we realized it's just called white privilege. We didn't know. We didn't know that word back then. We didn't know that word, right? So Brad knocked at this door and now I'm not roller skating anymore. I'm sitting in the grass, the floor of the grass, all these big ass insects on me. My brother's on my left. The smelliest kid on my block was on my right. He always smelled like straight up booty juice. Like just straight up freshly squeezed booty juice. Like never wanted to shower. You know how nasty you have to smell for other children to feel like you smell? You know what I'm saying? Like just nasty. And I'm sitting here mad, like I didn't even do anything. Why am I? Because I feel like honestly, the woman was only 2 houses down. That that you don't knock at. She's outside in her bathrobe. Literally, she got a chair. She has snacks just waiting to see who's gonna leave their hiding space first. And you also have to know it's dusk, right? Like it's right about the time that the street lights are gonna turn on. My mom is gonna come outside like, Roger, Randall, Raneir, bring your black behinds back inside. I didn't even get to my favorite part of my Xena Warrior Princess fight scene. I didn't even do one. I didn't do one yet. I didn't do one. So I decide I'm getting from under this truck and I'm gonna continue skating, okay? I don't give a fuck. I'm getting up from under this truck. And I remember my brother tried to stop me, but then I was about to scream and he didn't because everybody on my block knew. When I scream, my grandma will hear me and will run out the house and smack whoever's closest to me. That was facts. Grandma always had my back as the youngest child. I love you, Grandma, if you see this. I love her. Still alive and will still come and smack your ass. She is. Oh, I love her. Thank you. Aww. Round of applause for Grandma. I'm gonna show her this video. It made me feel good. True story. I have to tell you though, sometimes she came out and smacked the wrong kid. I felt so bad about it. Damn, that's more karma I'm gonna have to blow out of my system. Okay, yeah, double entendre. I was talking about sucking dick, girl. I was talking about so anyway, I get from underneath this car. And I get back to skating, and immediately that woman was like, Raneir! She knew my name because I always sold her Sally Foster. Did y'all do that over here? It was like, Sally Foster's basically like where you could get kids to do free slave labor to support the school. They would sell a bunch of candy and shit. And I always got first or second place because, you know, I'm a hustler, thank you, right? And let me tell you, this woman was one of my best like she bought everything. She didn't just go to one, she was like page to page, picking shit to buy. She was great. So she's like, Raneir, who knocked at my door? And I was like, huh? She said, Raneir, who knocked at my door? And I'm like, I'm thinking about Sally Foster, and I'm like, it was Brad. And she was like, where does Brad live? I was skating that way anyway, come on. Right? So I'm skating, and as I'm passing Brad's house, I just point and I keep it moving. I keep it moving. By the time I get all the way around the block, all the kids are gathered on the sidewalk in front of Brad's house. Brad's house is up, like, it's the highest hill in our little neighborhood. I remember we used to get on his big brother's skateboard and go down on our stomach down the driveway into the road and just pray a car didn't hit us and make us statistic. You know what I mean? So anyway, I stopped because although I was having a good ass daydream with Xena the Warrior Princess at the time, there's one thing every kid, especially in Miami, will stop anything to see, and that's another kid getting his ass whipped by his parents. I don't know what it is about it. I know it's called child abuse now, but back in the day, that was called quality entertainment, okay? That's what we did. So I'm sitting there at the bottom of the hill. Brad's at the very top of the hill, and his dad's outside, and his dad's like, Brad, you went and knocked at that woman's door and you ran? And Brad goes, it doesn't even matter, Dad. You have to understand, remember Brad's the only white person in my neighborhood. I've never seen someone scream at their parent before this in my point in my life. I didn't even know that was an option. I didn't know people, I was like, you can scream back? They didn't tell me this shit, you can scream back. I'm learning shit. Brad's dad raised his hand. I've never seen someone pre-stretch for a slap. I've never seen it before. He like raised his hand so high, it went through the clouds, through the hole in the ozone layer, into space, and it froze and got hard, and he's shit out of this chop. When I tell you, this boy fell over the hedges, rolled down the entire hill. I'm not joking. As he's rolling, the smack is echoing through the neighborhood. There are children like in other neighborhoods coming outside like, who just got smacked like that? Who just got smacked? Like, when I learned about the Trail of Tears in school, I thought they were talking about Brad's tears down the front lawn. I was like, how is this already in history books? This is crazy. Everyone knows about this. So Brad's dad goes back inside, which I even call that white privilege too, because all the rest of us, when we got our ass beat, that day was done. You ain't get to go back outside and play. Okay, apparently y'all can't relate, but I didn't. That was just foreign territory. Like, if I got my ass beat at 5 p.m. on a Monday, I woke up and it was Tuesday. That's how my life, you know what I mean? So Brad's at the bottom of the hill crying. All the other kids were laughing. And Brad cuts up and he calls me a faggot. And then my brother, my big brother's his age, and was like, you knew you shouldn't have knocked at that woman's door. You're the faggot. Because these are the good old days what that Dave Chappelle was talking about, where, you know, PC culture wasn't around then. And if you call someone a faggot, you didn't get canceled and people didn't get mad at you. That someone just called you a faggot, right? And whatever closeted homosexual kid was around was just like, well, I guess I ain't telling anyone my secret until college. Long story short, you know how hard it is to be someone that doesn't like to lie, and I had to pretend to be straight for 20 years? I think that is my theory as to why most gay people try to be in entertainment. Because we spent most of our adolescence doing our best acting performance ever. That was the end of my set. Thank you so much. Okay.